Hey guys, TJ here at Top Tech Cards and Games, and today I'm going to do a deck tech on Abzan Reanimator, or if you're more familiar with the old names, Junk Reanimator. It's a deck that plays a lot of late game threats, big creatures that can get some value from being reanimated, like Hornet Queen and Doomwake Giant. And we're just going to go through the deck. There's a lot of mana creatures in the deck, so we start off with 2 Elvish Mystic, 4 Sylvan Caryatids as our mana dorks, because it just make mana. Then we have some more cards that help us find mana, and 3 Satyr Wayfinders, and 4 Courser of Krufix. Our deck plays a lot of big threats that you want to be able to hardcast. You're not always going to live the dream of milling them and whipping them back. So because of that, we play a lot of mana cards, and our mana is pretty good in general, but it's just flawless when you have Wayfinders, Coursers, Caryatids, all fixing your mana and getting you the colors, plus the Mystics and Caryatids both accelerating you into your fatties a little bit quicker. Because we have all these mana sources, we play a mana sink, we play Fleecemane Lion. Late game we can just play this guy and monster sit on top of being a good early game threat, attacker, blocker. Fleecemane really does it all. It makes the control matchups really good. Then we're in these colors, so we play 4 Siege Rhino. Siege Rhino is an okay reanimation target. If you whip it back, he gets the come into play effect. It attacks for 4 with trample and lifelink. It just does a lot. In general, when you're casting Siege Rhino, you're doing something right in the game. Then we have 2 Doomwake Giants. Doomwake really helps deal with a lot of the things in the format. A lot of decks play 1 toughness creatures that it just kills on its own. With some ingenuity late in the game, you can kill X2s pretty easily, and it just shores up a lot of matchups, especially dealing with Hornet Queen tokens in the mirror, so you just have to deal with 1 Hornet. And 1 Soul of Innistrad helps you really go over the top in mid-range mirrors and against control decks. Even if you mill it and just get 3 guys back, that's great, but if you play it, it dies, then you get to use the ability, or even if you get to cast it and use its ability, you just get so much value out of the card, it's disgusting. The big boss monster of the deck, we have 3 Hornet Queens. Queen's the card you're going to want to reanimate, the card you're going to want to cast. It just gums up boards so well, like it gives you so much time to win the game, and you have a ton of inevitability when you're playing cards like Siege Rhino and Whip Verbos. Then 1 big finisher, we have 1 Ashen Rider. Ashen Rider is kind of a catch-all, like yes you can reanimate it to deal with any card you want, you can hard cast it late game to deal with any cards you want, and then it's a 5/5 beater. If you play this, it gets killed by a removal spell, you get to get rid of another permanent, and then you whip it back, there's another permanent gone. So it can just deal with a lot of really awkward boards and take problem cards out of play. Our non-creature spells, we have 3 Heroes Downfalls and 3 Murderous Cuts for removal. A removal spell that I'd like to play 1 of but can't quite fit in is just 1 Abzan Charm. Just because the extra card advantage and utility from the +1 counters is kind of wanted. We have a lot of mill effects, well not a lot, but enough mill effects that Murderous Cut has a lot of value as a 1 mana removal spell without interfering with our whips, which we play 3 of. Whip is obviously the reanimator part of the deck. It lets us bring back our creatures, gives us lifelink. It really helps shore up aggro matchups by giving us that lifelink. And then I play 1 Commune with the Gods. I play 1 Commune and 3 Wayfinders because we have so many mana guys already, so our deck is really like 30-some mana sources if you count all these guys as just mana, which is just a ridiculous amount. So I thought it'd be better to not max out on Wayfinders and play Commune, so we can find business cards. Commune can help us find Whip, it can help us find fatties, we can put fatties in the yard. It just helps us find more than playing another Wayfinder when we already have so much mana. For our lands, we have 4 Seaside Citadel, or Sandstep Citadel, derp. It's just the junk land. 4 Windswept Heaths, and then some basics to go with it, 3 Forest and 1 Plains. Then I have 3 Temple of Silence and 2 Temple of Malady. Then a backwards number of Painlands, 2 Llanowar Waste, and 2 Caves of Coilless. And then finally 1 Urborg to help get with the heavy black requirements of using Whip every turn. So that's the main board. There's 23 lands, but that seems like a pretty safe amount when you have Elvish Mystic, Sylvan Caryatid, all these other cards helping us find our lands. The main board is pretty strong against a lot of the field. It does struggle a bit with the control matchups, so maybe I should sideboard a little more than I do for them right now. But we'll just go through the board. We have 3 Thoughtseize. This card's pretty strong right now. 4th one couldn't hurt, but this really helps you against the control decks and some of the more combo-oriented decks. 2 Doomblast for the grindy mid-range matchups, especially the mirror where your opponent will also be playing a million Hornet Queens. Just being able to kill all the tokens and keep a threat of your own is absolutely insane. 2 Boblights, really good against the token decks and against the aggro decks in the format. 2 Drowning Sorrows, basically the same thing. Very good against aggro, very good against tokens. Reclamation Sage. This card's okay in the mirror for dealing with whip. It's okay against Jeskai Ascendancy decks. That's the biggest place you're going to want to bring it in, just to kill the Ascendancy. And then it's okay against green decks that are playing like Eidolon of Blossoms, Doomwake Giant, Courser. They just play a little more enchantment than we do. I would probably bring it in the mirror also, though. Then one other end, just as a catch-all, it deals with every threat you could possibly imagine. Then an Elspeth and an Ajani to help us transition to a more controlling role game 2, or just have more value cards against control decks so they don't just go completely over the top of us. And one Doomwake Giant for basically the same reasons I said for Drownazar, except this guy's whippable, so we can get a lot more uses out of them to just handle a lot more cards. So the sideboard's pretty well rounded. It covers a lot of our matchups. Truthfully, the deck doesn't have very many awful matchups. The thing you really need to watch is just finding a way to win in mirror matches when both players are spamming Hornet Queens and gaining 1,000,000 life with their whips. But after game 1, you have a lot more ways to deal with that. You sideboard pretty effectively for everything you could possibly need. And I think the deck's just really strong right now. So if you're playing Standard, it's definitely a deck to watch out for. Thanks for watching.